Hello and welcome to another Sports Take Show. Matthew Coller here, Derek Wetmore, and Derek especially this time has a sports take. The Minnesota Twins signed catcher Jason Castro to a 3-year deal. Likey or no likey, Derek?
That's too strict of a dichotomy for me. If I had to pick one, it's no likey, just because, in my personal opinion, Wilson Ramos is a better signing. Matt Wieters is a better signing. I've been over this on a couple of columns and a couple of podcasts now. Jason Castro is a decent player, though. I mean, he's a starting caliber catcher. He's just nothing I get real excited about. So if I were putting that in a nutshell,
Let me describe Jason Castro in one song. He is a bridge over troubled waters. For the next 3 years, Jason Castro can play catcher and play well defensively. And hopefully, and I don't know this because you have to watch somebody really close to really know, so we'll get a feel as we go throughout the season. But if he handles the pitching staff well, if he's a good leader, he's a good pitch caller, and you can use him to help develop some of your younger pitchers that you're hopefully getting and moving through the system over the next 3 years, then I think he's perfect for the job when you're not spending a lot of money on a catcher in his prime, who, yes, will be better, but you're not really ready for that.
Yeah, I don't think the Twins are necessarily ready to go out and try to win the American League pennant, but I don't know. I've had a lot of people argue that on Twitter with me, and I don't really like the logic behind, they're not World Series contenders, so they can't spend any money. It's like they've got money to spend. I think the Twins should have some payroll flexibility if they choose to here. And, the corollary I'd draw would be like in your personal life. You're like, I'm not ready to run a marathon, so I'm not going to quit smoking. Or I'm not really ready to run that marathon, so I'm not going to start jogging. Or I'm not Muscle Beach caliber, so why would I buy a gym membership? It's like you can make small strides in the right direction. And I guess to that point, Jason Castro is a small stride in that direction. But, I don't really like the shorthand excuse that says Twins aren't World Series contenders, so I don't care what they spend on their team. I think that's kind of giving the Twins a free pass a little bit more than they deserve, because you're still well within your rights to upgrade your team. You lost 103 games. Go get better any way that you can.
Now, I agree with you there, but the players would have to want to come to Minnesota.
Sure.
Matt Wieters or Wilson Ramos would have to want to sign with the Twins. Wilson Ramos was traded away from the Twins, and I don't know if he cares about the nuance of the fact that it wasn't this current management system. Isn't he going to want to be on a contender? He's going from a team that wins its division or competes for a division title every year. And Matt Wieters, the same thing. These players are not going to want to go and help out a bunch of young or very bad pitchers through a couple of years of rebuilding. They're better players, but Jason Castro was willing to do it because they probably gave him a few more bucks than he's worth.
Well, and it's hard to know that. I think Wieters would be fine with it, just knowing a little bit from having covered the Orioles in the summer of 2013. Wieters seemed like a great guy to me. Ramos, I don't know personally, so fair point. Point well taken that he might not understand the nuance that Bill Smith was fired and then reassigned. And that's the guy who sent him packing for Matt Capps all those years ago.
What
and
a
now
trade.
it's yeah, exactly. The Twins are still reeling from that one. But what do you want to come here? And alternatively, Matthew, this is I'm just kind of putting that in a vacuum, saying he's probably a better player over the next 4 seasons than Jason Castro. Entirely possible that Wilson Ramos, coming off a serious knee injury, might just want to sign a 1-year deal, miss half the season, play 3 months, hit a couple home runs, and go hit free agency again next winter when he'd probably be the top catcher on the market once again. It's impossible to know that without having talked to him and know what his intentions are. But I wrote a column a couple of days ago just saying that, hey, if all else was equal, I think Wilson Ramos is the best free agent catcher out there.
I say 3-year deal for Jason Castro gives them time to find their next franchise catcher.
That's probably true, and that's got to be a little disappointing if you're a Twins fan, but that's the reality of where the team is after where they were last year. Even just to get back to sniffing competitiveness this year would be a big step forward.